Hi, my name's Keith, and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about babies. Some very important things that I will need to say in this video, and can babies wear crystals? The answer is yes, but there are certain crystals, and you have to know what actual crystals do for babies and to them. Now, when it comes to, there are some certain things that I have shared online, such as people oversharing children and whatnot, and there being too much energy behind children. For example, if you don't want your car getting evil-eyed, you don't post your car. If you don't want something that, for example, if you share a work opportunity and you tell too many people, then guess what happens? After you tell too many people, your work opportunity gets evil-eyed. Same thing is with your child, same thing with a baby, is when you share your baby, a lot of people can't have babies. A lot of people can't have children. And some people who do have children have a lot of complications when they do have children. So, for example, the father leaves, the mother leaves. There's a world of issues that could happen around children. So people in this world can be very envious, and people can be very, very spiteful when it comes to children. So it's because they're so pure. They're of God. God loves them. They're just pure innocence. And a lot of people in this world lack innocence. So it's something that they wish they had, so they'll usually shoot it down with their energy. Unfortunate. But when it comes to children, I say keep them off social media. Now, there are some people have done nothing but disagree with me on this topic, and I'm like, okay, you can disagree with me, but I would like you just to live it in your life and you to see the experiences. Why am I talking about this before I teach about the crystal aspects? It's because it's going on a little too much. Now, when it comes to children on social media, I'm talking about babies specifically, is they're very sensitive to energy. Recently, and this is not going to be, and you have to think about it like this. If I'm saying something everyone else is saying that's completely different, I'm moving against the grain. Actually, I'm moving with the grain, but it seems like when you say something that's so contradictory to what everyone's just going with, then you're unpopular now. So I don't care about popularity. I care about truth and doing right by God. So in essence, when you are literally posting your child on social media, there's stuff that happens. Hispanic cultures know this. So they usually tie the red string around their babies. They usually put the what's it called? They put black jet on the babies. They do a bunch of protection on the babies. Sometimes they do egg limpy or egg cleansing on the babies. Sometimes they'll take all these different precautions, but still, you have to keep them off social media. I'm going to give you an example, and this is the ultimate example because does anyone know the baby that just went recently viral for Four Seasons Orlando? I don't like to use specific examples, but that baby is just flat out tired. If you look at any video of the baby's flat out tired. The baby's exhausted. And it's not just because the baby's on camera so much. It's energetically exhausted. Think about it like this. When you're popular on social media, or when you share something, let's just say you share a picture on social media. And the picture's a really good picture, and now you're getting compliments on it. You have people talking about it. You have people sharing it. You have people coming up to you in public about it. Like, it's just a certain energy behind that alone. It's a weight. And it's like, cool, I like this picture getting popularity, but now some people are dwelling on it behind the scenes. Some people are like, well, you're supposed to, like, people are putting energy behind it. You're supposed to be over here. Versus the same thing happens to a baby. Because people just talk. The one reason why some of my family doesn't do, on the tribal side of my family, why they don't do funerals like that is because usually, and I know funeral directors as well, people talk the most trash to someone at their funeral. It's unfortunate, but that's how it goes. So if they're doing all this in person, what do you think they're doing online? How do you think that works? So just for the sake of privacy, spiritual privacy, even if it's not spiritual, because spiritual law and physical law run along the same side, on the same lines. So when it comes to spiritual law and physical law, just keep it private. Some people won't agree. A lot of people don't want to see you doing well in this world. So you just have to, that has to come to terms with some people. To some people, it's obvious. To some people, it's not obvious, and it takes them a couple years to learn. So what are other things that happens when you put your children on social media and, a moth. intuition. That's actually a major sign. Giant moth flew into my face. It's daytime on the water too, so when you see a moth, it means trust your intuition. So guys, trust your intuition. So when it comes to you guys posting your babies on social media, you really have to keep in mind that even if you don't believe in it, spirituality doesn't really care. It's happening anyway. You cannot believe in an entity haunting your home. It's still gonna haunt your home. It doesn't care. So a lot of people will post their children on social media over and over. Some people will just get the intuition or the feeling that they want to post more and more will stop. It'll go away and people will stop posting their children, even if they believe posting their children constantly is a good thing. But you'll see the baby crying more. That's the number one thing. The baby will be constantly crying. They'll end up some getting sick more often than other babies. They'll have certain like chronic coughs or stuff like that. And this is all spiritual symptoms. So this is just spiritual. This disclaimer, I'm not a medical doctor. This is a spiritual video, but these are spiritual symptoms. So this is associated with spirituality, okay? So in essence, you have to keep in mind that this child, and I don't want to talk too much about this in this video, the child is reincarnated from another world or from this world, depending on whatever circumstances. Every child is different. So you don't know where they just came from. Actually, some people do. Some of your angels will be like, oh, this person just came from here. Oh, this person was from here. Okay. Your children literally get assigned into the families that they're in. You ever wonder why wasn't I? Because some people will wonder, like, why wasn't I born into a rich family? Why wasn't I born into a rich family? And some people will be like, why was I born into a rich family? It's because whatever God had for you, whatever kind of lessons were behind you. Because some people will be born into the richest of families and they won't have some of their access to their power, versus some people will be born into a rich family and they'll have access to their power simply because that's who they were in a past life. They already have that experience. So what about people who are born into a really, really poor family? And there's a whole giant there is a family behind me just now, but they listen to some of the topics, so yeah, the video is for them too. They don't have a baby though, and yeah, the water is really beautiful. So when it comes to, I'm gonna make a quick comment. I think people like sometimes people's angels will push someone towards me to like literally have them hear something, because this whole area is just empty. I'm not gonna show you the rest of the area, but it's just very empty. So God bless them. I think they got what they needed from that. But when it comes to your children and crystals, I'm gonna talk about what crystals do for children right now. And I remember when my angels was teaching me about this. They were teaching me, I'm like, crystals on babies? Because I've had experiences with trying crystals on pets and having people try crystals on their pets. And sometimes the crystals on pets would be very adverse because the pets are just sensitive in energy. Although you have to know pet laws and spiritual laws with crystals on pets. So if the pet wears the crystal and it's over this size for too long, it'll be too much. The human baby versus a dog baby, a puppy, they don't really have problems like that. Only thing is like physical weight, which that's the only issue. So you can put jewelry on your children. They do it anyway in Hispanic cultures. Now, when it comes to children, what does a crystal actually do for a child? I just talked about how kids come from other lifetimes. Let's just say I'm going to talk about specific crystals in this video because I've noticed people who have gotten crystals for babies, it literally puts the babies so energetically ahead. Like, you ever just see someone in this world and you're like, how does this person have that much power? How much do they have? Like, how do they have that much luck? Like, some people will go to a casino and they'll win at anything they do. And it's just like, where'd this person get that from? It's because either they took some kind of luck with them in a past life with them to this life. And you gotta really think about it. You ever wonder why people get into this world and they're just so not ahead? And some people are literally in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and they're just struggling. Because it's a certain energy behind that. So when you have crystals on a baby, you're literally like, you're putting the baby so far ahead spiritually and you don't even know it. It makes the baby like superhuman. And now everyone's gonna go running. And like I said, physical weight, I'll have baby jewelry eventually, like a baby category on the website, but it's something, like I said, I was hesitant to make because my angels say you can put this crystal and this crystal on the baby, or like, and I'm like, really? And I noticed even with some of the children in my family who go to school, we gave some of the children jewelry to go to school with, and all this like brain fog, lethargy, just different things these children were having, bullying. It all ended at school. Teachers being mean to them. It ended. Them not getting ahead in certain classes, them not being able to focus in classes. All these problems just went away by wearing jewelry to school. So when I'm talking about babies, you literally kickstart the child as like a superhuman. So that kind of trauma from their past life, these energies, because people are like, well, these kids don't come into the world with anything from the past world because they're pure. God wouldn't let that happen. You're spiritually asleep at that point, because literally in the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve, how many times did it take the snake, the serpent, to be able to trick Eve and Adam into taking a bite from the apple? So we all have this residual from a past life. We all have this energy that kind of carries over about us. That's just kind of like, if it was pure, then we wouldn't be facing some of the problems we have now. So like I said, some people are just, and even in love life, financial life, luck life, anything, protection, some people are just, you ever see some kids who are just so protected, and it's like, is it the person's ancestors? It could be because of their gifts in a past life. Like, this person could have been like someone who protected people in a past life, and they pretty much insured themselves in future lives. That's actually something, that's one of the reasons why I not have protected guys so much with black tourmaline. It's because protections is something I literally specialize in my past life. It's a little secret. I did a couple things in my past life, but mainly just extreme protections. So that's why when you guys get a necklace from me, I bless it and you feel it so strongly. It's because that's literally one of my gifts of protection through the Most High God. Now, we're talking more about crystals for babies. What happens when you put a crystal on a baby? Well, let's just say you put green aventurine. That baby, they're kickstarted in life with an extra energy of luck. These traumas that the baby has had in a past life are diminished and vanquished. Like, these traumas are just dissolved, broken down, and gotten rid of. So it'll stop a world of problems before the child even gets to certain ages. Like, for example, like, you'll have a child who grows up and they just don't trust anyone. It's like they're being rebellious. They start doing all this extra stuff, and it's just like, where is this coming from? You have such a good upbringing. Your parents love you so much, and you kind of crave this trouble. You crave these problems. What's happening? It's like, you look at some of these children, and then you go into a past life. This person literally had a chronic problem with that in the past life. It never got taken care of, and it kind of transferred over. Let's just say that person has an addictive person. I mean, they did some kind of addictive stuff in a past life, and that just transferred over because energy never dies. It just carries over. Now, they get into this life, they have an addictive personality. Let's just say they did something bad with the friends once, and now they're hooked on something and you're like, why are they hooked? Because the energy transferred over. So if you give a baby such amethyst, for example, or lepidolite, which are two addiction crystals, that baby is like, let's just say if they had a problem with addiction in the past life, now it doesn't really pop up like that. They've dissolved it because they were so in such a state of purity and innocence where they're able to just vanquish these obstacles. Let's just say the baby was unlucky in a past life. You give the baby green aventurine, they're going to have more luck than they ever did in their entire life because they know how to overcome it. And that's just an energy. When they're a baby, they have a certain karmic forgiveness, so that's actually the best time to put a crystal on a baby. What crystals would I avoid putting on a baby? The intense ones like bloodstone, malachite. Don't ever give moldavite to a baby. That's just too much. There's certain crystals you should just know. Like, you should get a feeling, because if it's intense for us, you don't know what the baby had in a past life, so why are you gonna I would avoid crystals like those. You can put them around the baby, but not on the baby. So I'm gonna go back to my example. What if you had a child, who just doesn't trust anyone? And that actually develops into relationships in the future. So the child gets into relationships, friendships, bad parent-child relationships, and it's just like, what happened? Like, this was such a good kid growing up. It's like, what happened? Where did this come from? This didn't come from anywhere. Like, and you're like just in awe. It's like, oh, it's too bad that happened. And you see that all the time. It's because they haven't resolved that problem. So in essence, when you give a child a crystal, you're letting them get a kickstart. You're dissolving these things, because like when you give a child a crystal, and the child can't do too much. They can't really tell you too much. Their karmic forgivenesses are just peeling off. Being put on, and the karmic problems are just peeling off. They're peeling off. And it's happening. It happens so quickly. Just like a baby grows quickly, these traumas, they grow past very quickly as well. That energy carries over. So in essence, crystals are extremely powerful for babies. Extremely powerful. You'll have a superhuman. You'll pretty much have a superhuman. If you ever wonder how people are just, oh, why is that person so lucky? Or in the love life, some people will literally just talk to someone and they'll just be like, they have a certain gift about them. It's like, that person could say anything and they'll attract someone. It's like, what's that? It's because that person had, when the baby was someone else in a past life, they had that gift. So you're kind of giving them extra gifts that they wouldn't have had. You're giving them such an advantage, as to other people are just going to think it's unfair. Some people will notice, like, you could be one of these people watching this video and you're like, well, whenever someone even looks at me wrong, like something happens to them. It's just like, it's because you have that protection in a past life and it carried over. Some people will just get looked at wrong and now they're suffering with symptoms from an evil eye for months now. So that should explain it. Some people, and crystals will help strengthen the baby's aura too. So if the baby just has a weak aura, because it has a weak aura, you strengthen the baby's aura. Now, there's so many benefits. Just make sure you're using the right crystals. Don't use anything too intense. Don't be mean. Your angels will tell you. When you're putting the crystal on the baby, they'll just be like, okay, yeah, go ahead, use this. And plus, like, some of the crystals for opening your third eye on a baby, they'll be so gifted. Like, they'll just be one of those magic babies. Magic babies. But you guys get the point. You're helping your child get ahead by putting crystals on them. Nothing heavy, nothing like mine. Very light ones, like the bracelet size ones that I have. It'll work miracles. And when the child grows up, he'll just be like, this must be some kind of like superhuman. Like they'll just be so far ahead. They'll get to enjoy the world. In essence, they'll get to enjoy life. They'll have a head start, a kick start. They'll just get to enjoy life as they should, not as going through extra problems that they don't have to. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. If you'd like custom jewelry for babies, you'll have to DM me or you'll have to email me. That's something I've been doing. And let's just say babies who get jewelry or who wear Florida Stone Man jewelry, it's pretty cool what they grow into. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Keep your babies off social media. Ciao.